And tonight we have new information about who's being detained and why, including a mother and her 3-year-old daughter in San Francisco. A family member tells us they were taken into custody after showing up for an immigration check-in. NBC Bay Area's Jocelyn Moran joins us in the newsroom tonight. And Jocelyn, I know you spoke to the woman's uncle.
Yeah, Jess, I did. He tells us his niece is a hard-working woman who came to the U.S. from Guatemala with her 3-year-old daughter for their own safety. They had been seeking asylum, but during a check-in in San Francisco, they were 2 of more than a dozen people reportedly detained. Now the uncle tells us they're in Texas.
Kids are kids, you know. She was used to going to the house. We have 2 cats, and she likes to go to McDonald's in the morning, and she's very active. She likes to dance, you know. I don't have any kids myself, so I looked at her as my daughter.
This is Nicole, Oscar's great niece. She was reportedly detained with her mother by federal authorities on Wednesday after showing up for a check-in at 630 Sansom Street in San Francisco.
She got a last-minute call saying that she needed to do a regular checkup as usual.
The mother's name is Jesus Jacinto. Oscar tells us she showed up on Tuesday for that check-in without her daughter Nicole, but they told her to come back Wednesday with Nicole. That's when their world changed. Oscar showed us these messages between Jesus and Oscar's wife, in which Jesus says they're going to deport us. That conversation was the last they heard from her until this afternoon. 2 days later, she called from Texas.
She called us from the center. She said that she has now signed her deportation.
Jesus and Nicole are 2 of several people who the Rapid Response Network tells us were detained on Wednesday.
At least 15 people were detained on Wednesday at the ICE building in San Francisco, 630 Sansom. And we also know that at least 4 children, to our knowledge, were among those detained, and they were detained with one of their parents.
According to lawyers of some of those who were detained Wednesday, several were transported to a detention center in Dillon, Texas. A Department of Homeland Security spokesperson in response to the people detained said in a statement, quote, "Those arrested had executable final orders of removal by an immigration judge and had not complied with that order. If you are in the country illegally and a judge has ordered you to be removed, that is precisely what will happen." But Oscar tells us Jesus and her daughter Nicole were in the process of appealing their case and had been attending their court hearings and check-ins.
I get it. Don't get me wrong. When I was going to school, I wanted to be a police officer, and I always said I want to catch the bad guys. But the problem is they're catching everybody together. A lot of times, you know, everybody's just like, you know, immigrant people. But besides that, they have to realize that they're human beings.
And Oscar tells us they did not have an attorney. As we know, it can be very expensive to get one, but they're now in the process of getting legal representation. They're also hoping for a miracle, Jess.